Let's talk about applying an overall aging tint to an image. I guess it doesn't really have to be an aging tint, but a tint. And let's go back to one we've used before called Too Yellow. Go ahead and open that one up in your exercise files. Okay, let's make that a little bit bigger. Double-click the hand tool. This image has too much yellow in it, but I don't care. Because in order to do what we're going to do, we have to get rid of the color in this image anyway. So the easiest way to do that non-destructively, and I think that's important. And let's go down to this one since we can kind of see both, because we got these in left and right, if you remember. Select left, go down to this button right here, which is of course for your adjustments, and go into black and white. Now, we're going to talk more about adjustments in another chapter, but this one's pretty cool. Now you have presets, darker, lighter, whatever. I'm going to actually go to one called lighter. I think it needs a little bit of lightening up, but that looks like a grayscale image. Okay, we're happy. Let's go ahead and close this down for a second. So we have an adjustment layer that's removing the color from the image. The next thing we need to do is decide what color we want to make it. So let's do it 2 or 3 ways. Number one, let's go back to this button right here and go into Hue and Saturation. Hue and Saturation has an option, and the option is right here. It's called Colorize. And if I select that option, as you can see, I can change the color, I guess, to just about anything that I want. But the only reason that's really working is because black and white as an adjustment has taken the original color out. If I turn that off, you can see it's changing it. Now that's an interesting way to do it, but what if you already know the color? Check this out. Let's go ahead and drag Hue and Saturation down to the trash can, and we're kind of starting again. So what we need to do now is we need to choose a color from over here. For example, I've got some sepias down here, and let's go ahead and use one of those. So I click it over here. I've got this one right here clicked, and that changes my color down here. Now do the same thing. Go into our adjustments and go into Hue and Saturation and click Colorize. Well, it doesn't look like it's working, does it? Well, here's the problem. And I did this on purpose. Hue and Saturation is below black and white. No matter what we do for color, this one is going to get rid of the color before it ever gets to the image. This needs to be above black and white. The order of your adjustments can really influence what you see. So I'm going to click it and drag it and bring it right up to about like that, and now it works. Now the color is this color down here. It's based on the hue. It set it for me when I said colorize. Once we've done that, we can change it, play around with it, do whatever we want. So that's another way we can do it. Let's get rid of Hue and Saturation. And I just press the delete key, and now we're back kind of to our black and white image. Here's another way you can do it. Create a blank layer above the black and white adjustment. Fill that layer entirely with the color that you want to use, and we got a sepia down here. We might as well use it. But don't go looking for your paint bucket. The shortcut for filling a layer or a selection with the current foreground color is the Alt key and the backspace key. As you can see, don't forget we're working 50-50 here. It's fill that layer with a solid color. To get the color into the image, go up to this button right here that says Normal. And we're really going to talk about these later. These are blending modes. But use this one right here. It's called Color. Computer, I have a layer that's full of sepia. I want you to go down here, and whatever the color is that's down there, I want you to change it to sepia. Now what we can also do here is then control the opacity if we want it just a little bit lighter. Now there is one more way to do this, but before we do it, let's do this. Let's go ahead and grab right, and let's bring it down so they're both back together again. And then let's get rid of this layer right here. One more time. We're going to go into our adjustment button right here, and we're going to go into relatively new Photo Filter. Now, Photo Filter will allow us certain filters, warming filters, cooling filters if we want to do that. And once we've chosen the color, we can then work on the density of the color. This is similar to what I just showed you with the layer and changing the blending mode. This one has a little bit more control though, but we can change the density or the color. If we want a different one, we can choose here and choose any color that we want by clicking right here. Total control. So if you're looking to tint an image, you've got 3 ways to do it, if not more. On to the next.